Hello and welcome everybody to my channel Umani Bio Entrance, and today we will be discussing University of Hyderabad MSc Entrance Examination for the subject Molecular Microbiology conducted in the year 2016. The genus Vanilla belongs to. So the genus Vanilla, it belongs to which family they have asked? It belongs to Orchidaceae. Answer is option A. The family known to be very rich in alkaloids. So the family that is known to be very rich in alkaloids is Solanaceae. Answer is option B. Petrification is a complex process of protein degradation and result in the production of noxious odors due to amino acid. So due to amino acid decarboxylation. Answer is option C. Identify the mismatch. So here quorum sensing population density siderophores acquires iron, enterobactin acquires magnesium, and idiophase secondary metabolite production. So enterobactin acquires magnesium, that is wrong. Enterobactin is a high affinity siderophore that acquires iron for microbial systems, not magnesium. So the mismatch is enterobactin acquires magnesium. Then greenhouse gases in the atmosphere absorb. So they absorb more infrared radiation than visible. Answer is option C. 16S rRNA is a component of dash subunit of ribosome, of 30S subunit of the ribosome. Answer is option A. Which of the following is not characteristic of phylum Annelida? So Parapodia, Notochord, Trochophore larva, Metamerism, all these are characteristic of phylum Annelida. So I don't know what was given in the answer key, but as per me all are characteristic of phylum Annelida. Then oxidation of which substance in the body yields the most calories? So it is lipids. Answer is option D. Lipids have high energy content of 9 kilocalories per gram, while carbohydrates and proteins have 4 kilocalories per gram. Then, if the calculated chi-square value is larger than the critical chi-square value, then the researcher should reject the null hypothesis. Answer is option B. How many carbons an isoprenoid unit has? It has 5 carbons. Option B, C, 5. Which of the following permits only selective uptake of minerals in the root? So it is the endodermis. Answer is option C. Mixotrophic refers to microorganisms that combine autotrophic and heterotrophic metabolic processes. Answer is option A. Then, one among the following is not an electron acceptor for anaerobic respiration. So the answer here is it is malate. Answer is option D. Then plants that flower only once in their lifetime are known as monocarpic. Answer is option B. Then Hershey-Chase experiment. So it involved finding radioactivity inside bacteria infected with T2 phage having DNA labeled with P32. So answer is option A. So which of the following dyes are used for negative staining? So it is India ink or nigrosin dye. Identify the mismatch. So the mismatch here is crystal violet media, that is characteristic media, that is the mismatch. Then an example of amphibolic pathway. So what is amphibolic pathway? Amphibolic pathway is the one which involves both anabolism and catabolism. So here the EMP pathway or Embeden-Meyerhof-Parnas pathway or the glycolysis, where glucose is broken down into pyruvate, that is catabolic pathway, but at the same time the substrates like pyruvate can also be used in the biosynthesis of glucose in gluconeogenesis, which is an anabolic pathway. So EMP pathway or glycolysis is an amphibolic pathway. So the answer here is option A and C. I don't know what was given in your answer key. because both the options are correct. Then next one. Catalytic dehydrogenation of a primary alcohol gives aldehyde. Answer is option B. Which one among the following is correct for IMVIC test for Escherichia coli? So it is answer is option C, that is MR, that is methyl red positive, Voges-Prosker negative, indole positive. So answer is option C. The enzyme activity associated with reverse transcriptase that digest the RNA template after DNA has been synthesized. So synthesis of DNA from an RNA template to produce complementary DNA uses the enzyme reverse transcriptase. The RNA H activity of reverse transcriptase acts as an endonuclease that hydrolyzes the RNA strand in an RNA DNA hybrid to generate 5' phosphate and 3' hydroxyl end. So the answer here is option C, that is RNase H. Then, which among the following statement is true for pili and fimbriae, which are very commonly found in many bacteria? So these are proteinaceous cell surface appendages which are helpful in attachment, while pili help in cell-cell attachment and useful in genetic exchange. Fimbriae helps in confinement of cells. So that is true. So the first answer itself is true. The other options are not correct. Then the list of events that occur during meiosis 1 are listed below. The correct order of these events is: so homologous chromosomes are roughly aligned but not physically linked. Homologous chromosomes segregate to opposite poles. Homologous chromosomes are linked by synaptonemal complexes. Homologous chromosomes are linked by chiasma. Chromosomes are replicative. So the correct order is chromosomes replicate, E. Then comes A, that is homologous chromosomes are roughly aligned but not physically linked, A. Then comes C, that is homologous chromosomes are linked by synaptonemal complexes. Then comes D, homologous chromosomes are linked by chiasmata. And then comes B, that is homologous chromosomes segregate to opposite poles. So the answer here is option C, that is E, A, C, D, B. The next one, N-linked polysaccharides are attached to. So N-linked glycosylation is the attachment of an oligosaccharide, that is a carbohydrate consisting of several sugar molecules, to a nitrogen atom. So the amide nitrogen of an asparagine residue of a protein is usually involved in the process of N-glycosylation. So the answer here is option D, that is asparagine. Then penicillin acts as an antibiotic in susceptible bacteria by interfering with. So penicillin interferes with cell wall formation. Answer is option A. In which photosynthetic organism H2S as a donor? So in purple sulfur bacteria, the hydrogen donor is H2S. The elemental sulfur is released unlike oxygen in plant photosynthesis. So it is purple sulfur bacteria. Answer is option. Then antibiotic tetracycline bind to dash subunit of ribosome. It binds to 30S subunit of the ribosome. Then lactose is composed of galactose and glucose, and which forms A, and it forms beta 1,4 glycosidic linkages. So answer is option A. Then the substance that is general biosynthetic precursor of sex hormones and hormones of adrenal cortex is. So it is cholesterol. Answer is option D. Then carbon sequestration refers to. It refers to the process of capture and long-term storage of atmospheric carbon dioxide. And it is one of the method of reducing the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere with the goal of reducing global climate change. So the carbon sequestration is, answer is option B, the process of capture and long-term storage of atmospheric carbon Then which of the following statement about mitochondria is not true? Size and shape of mitochondria varies in cell. Then mitochondria in the cell can fuse with one another. Larger mitochondria in the cell can split into two. In all cells, one mitochondria will be exceptionally larger than others. So the answer here is option D, that is in all cells one mitochondria will be exceptionally larger than the others. So coming to the next question, if two capital A small a capital B small b individuals are crossed, what is the probability that a particular offspring will show one or both of the dominant traits? A and B are dominant to a small b respectively and are unlinked. So these are the individuals that are crossed, these are the gametes produced, and this is the Punnett square showing all the possibilities. So out of this they have asked the particular offspring which will show either one or both of the dominant traits. So either one or both of the dominant trait, that is either capital A and small capital B, or both capital A and capital B as a dominant trait. It will be 15 out of 16. So the answer here is option D. Then multiple sclerosis is a disease related to. So it is a disease related to nerve cells. Then next one. In a Punnett square, if a Punnett square is made showing Grigor Mendel's cross between true breeding tall plants and true breeding short plants, the square would show that the offspring had. So this is the true breeding tall plant and this is the true breeding short plant. Now you draw the Punnett square. This will produce two type of gametes, that is capital T, and this will produce two gametes, but all are of the same type. Okay, so this is just only for drawing the Punnett square. I have written two. They produce only one type of gamete, that is all tall, and this one will produce only one type of gamete, that is small t. So capital T and small t. So you will get capital T small t as the offspring, genotype of the offspring, and phenotypically also they will be same, that is all will be tall plants. So the answer here is answer C, that is genotype that was different from that of both the parents, but the genotype is different from both the parents. It is capital T small t, whereas here it is capital T and small t. So the answer here is option C. Then the two strands of DNA double helix are held together by hydrogen bonds. So answer is option A. The fluctuation test of Luria Delberg studying resistance of Escherichia coli to bacteriophage T1 infection showed all of the following except the number of resistant colonies per clone was similar on all plates. They found the number of resistant colonies in each plate varied drastically. So that was the exception. So answer is option B. Then Which one of the following are collectively called calyx? They are the sepals. Answer is option A. Then, a light receptor in certain bacteria resembles that found in the eyes of an animal and they are referred as. A light receptor in certain bacteria resembles that found in the eyes of an animal and they are referred as, in bacteria it is bacteriorhodopsin. Answer is option D. Benzaldehyde and acetone can be distinguished using. So they both can be distinguished using Tollens reagent. Then cyanobacteria contain a special pigment complex called. So phycobiliproteins are the major accessory pigments in red, blue-green and chrysophyte alga. In red alga and blue-green alga, phycobiliproteins exist in special aggregated structures called as phycobilisomes. So the answer here is option B, that is phycobilisome. Then next one, amino acids are synthesized from. So they are synthesized from alpha keto acids. Answer is option C. Then spore formation is absent in. So the spore formation, it is absent in archaea. Answer is option A. Then eukaryotic and multicellular body forms are not observed in one of the following. So that is Monera. Monera, they are having unicellular prokaryotic organisms. So answer is option A. So coming to the next question. Which of the following statement is true regarding ABO blood system? To answer this question, if you remember this particular table, it will be easier. So first option, people of type A normally would not produce the anti-A antibody. So anti-A antibody, people of type A do not produce. That is correct. Then people of type B normally would produce the anti-B antibody. So type B, they do not produce anti-B antibody. So that statement is wrong. Then people who are type AB normally produce both anti-A and anti-B antibodies. So those with type AB, what they have told is they normally produce both anti-A and anti-B antibodies, but they do not produce anti-A and anti-B antibodies. People of O group do not produce anti-A, anti-B antibodies. People of blood group O do not produce, but they produce anti-A and anti-B antibodies. So the correct answer here is option A, that is people of type A normally would not produce the anti-A antibody. Then next one. Which of the following is correct statement about biological nitrogen fixation carried out by legumes? So it is bacteria convert nitrogen to ammonia. So answer is option D. Satiety center regulating food intake is in. So it is in the hypothalamus. Answer is option B. Then what is the difference between phosphine and phosphine? So the answer is phosphine is a phenomenon characterized by the experience of seeing light without light actually entering the eye. Whereas phosphine is the name of a flammable toxic gas which is a group of organophosphorus compound. So answer here is option A. So coming to the next question, in competitive inhibition, an inhibitor, so it binds reversibly at the active site. So in case of competitive inhibitor, the inhibitor will bind to the active site and prevent the substrate from binding there. So the answer is option B, that is binds reversibly at the active site. Then the process by which proteins are synthesized in cell is known as translation. Answer is option D. A characteristic feature of saturated fatty acid is they have high melting points. Answer is option B. Then next one. DNA microarrays have been widely used in genomic studies because they can help in analyzing the expression of many genes in the genome to be compared at once. Answer is option B. The stage of cell division in which DNA replicates is called the interphase. That is, at the phase of interphase, DNA replicates. Then in humans, drug detoxification majorly occurs in the liver. Answer is option C. Then a person with Klinefelter syndrome exhibit one of the following conditions. So it is trisomic. So answer is option D. Then for the flower induction, the vernalization signal in plant is perceived mainly by, so it is perceived mainly by the shoot apical meristems. So answer is option D. So temperature is perceived by all plant parts, although low temperature, that is vernalization, is often perceived mainly by the shoot apex. And water availability, it is perceived by the root system. Then next one. Alkaloid production in plants is regulated by change in endogenous pool of, so it is endogenous pool of jasmonates. Answer is option B. Then next one. An organism with two identical alleles for a given trait is, so an organism with two identical alleles is homozygous. So answer is option A. And homozygous have identical gene at the same locus on each member of a pair of homologous chromosomes. Then next one. A chemical called polyethylene glycol is commonly used as precipitant for plasmid DNA isolation and to concentrate viruses. PEG is also used in complete fusion of biomolecule. How PEG is prepared commercially? So how it is prepared commercially is by hydrolysis of ethylene oxide with water at 200 degrees Celsius under pressure. Polymerization depends upon the ratio of reactants. So answer is option B. Then malaria fever is caused by falciparum, Plasmodium falciparum. Answer is option A. So next one. Removal of outer exoskeleton is the process called, it is called as ecdysis. Answer is option B. Then if the amino acid net charge is 0, it is called isoelectric point. So answer is option B. Then next one. Dark grown seedling display triple response when exposed to ethylene. Which one of the following is not a part of triple response? So out of the given options, rapid unfolding and expansion of leaf is not a part of the triple response. Then next one. Which one of the following is part of carbohydrate, proteins and nucleic acids? So it is carbon, that is part of carbohydrate, proteins and nucleic acid. The function of contractile vacuole is, it is in osmoregulation. Answer is option C. High density lipoprotein is synthesized and secreted from the liver. Answer is option B. Which term for the symbiotic association between fungi and cyanobacteria? So it is the term called lichen. It is a stable symbiotic association between fungus and alga and or a cyanobacteria. Answer is option A. Then the next one. The biochemical reaction involving addition of sugars to proteins is called glycosylation. Answer is option C. The two different restriction enzyme digesting within the same recognition sequence are called as isoschisomers. Answer is option B. Then the filamentous DNA and protein that can be stained in interphase nuclei is called as chromatin. Answer is option C. Then next one. A mature fruiting body of an ascomycete fungal organism is referred to as apothecium. Answer is option C. Then next one. Enterokinase is involved in the conversion of, trypsinogen to trypsin. Answer is option B. A phyra larva is found in the life cycle of, So Ephyra is the larva of Aurelia and occurs in its reproductive cycle. So answer is option D, that is Aurelia. Then why do glycolipids exist almost exclusively on the exterior side but not on the cytoplasmic side of the cell membrane? So carbohydrates are added only to lipids on the luminal side of the endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi. So that is the reason. Answer is option B. Then which era is called the age of reptiles? So it is the Mesozoic era that is called the age of reptiles. Answer is option B. Then binomial nomenclature was proposed by Carolus Linnaeus. Answer is option A. Natural rubber is extracted from the plant that belongs to the family Euphorbiaceae. Answer is option D. Then finger millet is Eleusine coracana. Answer is option B. In which system the stone canal is found? So in case of echinoderms, that there is a water vascular system. This type of system is involved in locomotion, respiration and supply of nutrients. The system comprises of stone canal, ring canal, madreporite and radical canals. So in which system stone canal is found? Is found in water vascular system of starfish. Answer is option C. Then statocyst of prawn is an organ which is associated with. So it is associated with equilibrium and orientation. Answer is option B. Then gigantism are rare conditions that cause abnormal growth in children. Acromegaly is one of the hormonal disorder. Both gigantism and acromegaly occurs due to hyperpituitarism. Answer is option A. Then next one. The property of a living organism to emit light is called bioluminescence. This is well marked phenomenon of the animals belonging to which of the phylum or class? So it is in the case of Ctenophora. Answer is option D. Then some of the distinctive cell lines in the interior body walls of the sponges have a central flagellum that is surrounded by a collar of microvilli. These cells are called choanocytes. Answer is option B. Then in the presence of aluminum chloride AlCl3, benzene reacts with methyl chloride in a Friedel-Crafts reaction to form toluene. Answer is option D. Then next one. Toady palm is, so it is Borassus flabellifera. Answer is option C. Then botulinism. Botulinism is a poisoning caused by toxin produced by Clostridium botulinum bacteria. So the answer is a type of bacterial food poisoning. Answer is option D. Then in humans, inactivation of X chromosome is given in a given cell of female embryo involves. So it involves either maternal or paternal X chromosome. That is in the case of Barr-Body formation. So either maternal or paternal X chromosomes can be inactivated. So answer is option. Then next one. Offspring of heterozygous parents, that is capital A small a at a single locus, are 25% capital A, 50% capital A small a and 25% small a. Then all of the following are true except the parents are diploid organisms. So if this is the condition, so capital A small a, they are diploid and they will give rise to 25% capital A, 50% capital A small a and 25% small a. So that is true. Then see the option C. The alleles assort independently. That is why you are getting this particular combination. So the allele assort independently. The gametes combine at random. That is also correct. The allele is recessive lethal. That is option B. Now if you take this condition, that is capital A small a, you will get these offsprings. If it is recessive lethal means the one with recessive genotype, that is capital A, it will die out. So the 50% small a will, 25% small a will not be present. But in the question they have asked, has got 25% small a. So which of the following are true except? So this exception is, answer is option B. The allele is recessive lethal. Answer is option B. And next one. The association between cattle and rumen bacteria is well known example of. It is well known example of obligate symbiosis. Answer is C. muscle of heart wall called as, it is called as myocardium. Answer is option A. Insulin is a peptide hormone. Answer is option B. Conversion of nitrite to nitrate in soil is done by the bacteria Nitrobacter. Answer is option C. So Nitrosomonas, it converts nitrogen gas to nitrite, and later Nitrobacter converts nitrite to nitrate. The next one, a messenger RNA is 336 base pair long, including the initiation and termination codons. The number of amino acids in the polypeptide translated from this is, so it is 336 base pair long, so it must be, and it has got including, this 336 base pair length is including the initiation and termination codons. We know that initiation codon is methionine AUG and termination codon no specific amino acid is being specified during translation. So the three codons we have to subtract from 336. So 336 minus 3 is equal to 333 nucleotides. Now 3 nucleotides, they code for one codon. So 333 nucleotides code for how many codons? 333 divided by 3, that is 111. So answer is option C. Then next one. Charles Darwin discussed all of the following except. So except gene mutations are the sources of variation for evolution. That was not discussed by Charles Darwin. Then next one. Which coenzyme is involved in transaminase reaction? So transaminases or aminotransferases are enzymes that catalyze a transamination reaction between an amino acid and a keto acid. And transaminases, they require the coenzyme pyridoxal phosphate. And this coenzyme pyridoxal phosphate is converted into pyridoxamine in the first half reaction when an amino acid is converted into a keto acid. So pyridoxal phosphate is not given in your options. I don't have the answer key with me, so I don't know the exact thing, but anyway, pyridoxal phosphate is the coenzyme for transaminase reactions. It is not given in the options. Then, which one of the following viruses cause acute gastrointestinal illness due to contamination of drinking water? So it is, answer is option A, that is norovirus. Answer is option A. So coming to the next question, the vitamin which is essential for blood clotting is, so it's vitamin K, that is essential for blood clotting. The next one, genes A, B, C control 3 phenotypes which assort independently. A plant with the genotype capital A small a, capital B small b, capital C small c is selfed. What is the probability for progeny which shows the dominant phenotype for at least one of the phenotypes controlled by genes A, B and C? So you have got a plant that is with the heterozygous for 3 types of genes and it is selfed. So this is the plant that is heterozygous, it is selfed. Then they have asked what is the probability for progeny which shows the dominant phenotype for at least one of all the phenotypes controlled by genes A, B and C, for at least one of the phenotype. Now when you cross this with this, crossing between capital A small a and occurs. So when you cross capital A small a, you will get 3/4 of them dominant and one will be recessive. So similarly, when you cross with capital B small b, you will get 3/4 of the offspring as dominant phenotype. And when you cross capital C small c, you will get 3/4 as dominant phenotype. So for all, the probability altogether is 3/4 into 3/4 into 3/4. So that is 27/64. Answer is option B, that is 27/64. So that's it. Thank you for watching my channel. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.